previously on BMAC Mods. We tested, we checked, and we removed. So this just arrived from Amazon. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a look at it. It's a bit small, a bit Fisher Price-ish. So I'm just hoping this works. And here are the valves and there's little bits and pieces and da-da-da-da-da. So hopefully this is going to go as planned. Okay, so now we've got to remove the injector itself. Now this is going to be held with a couple of 7mm bolts, and the bolts hold the clamp down, the hot clamp holds down the injector. So we just got to just systematically remove these bits and pieces. If you know BMWs, they're full of plastic, so just strip it down as much as possible so you can get access to put your injector puller on. See that big plastic there and one in the middle. Get yourself one of those impact drivers. They are absolutely fantastic and they're just so handy, easy to use like a little pistol. So you just see me here removing this support bar to get full access to the injector. My little toy of an injector remover. How good this stuff is. So now we just got to just screw the fitting bits on. One end goes on the injector itself. The other end goes on the injector puller. It's time to get into business. You can see, simple method. Looks like he's done it before. Woo-hoo! Okay, so the new injector has landed and it's ready to be installed. Now this one is a reconditioned injector direct from Bosch. As you can see, the quality of it looks absolutely brilliant. You can see the other one looks a bit worn out at the top, but they do look the same. So now it's just about testing the resistance of this one to making sure it's up to spec. And boom, here we are, 180 ohms. Remember there's a tolerance of plus or minus 40, but that one is absolutely bang on. So before we put it back in, we're just going to put a bit of copper slip on it so it doesn't season it. Just touching it up with this spray. This spray is a bit useless really. I think all the copper drops to the bottom, you end up spraying gas up. So with the clamp back on, we're going to slide it back into place, making sure there's no cover tip on the bottom, and do it delicately. Those tips are really, really delicate. So just slide it in. Be easy with it. Nothing should be a huge chore. Now we got it in. We're just gonna wind it up a little bit. You know, we're gonna tighten it to torque spec. That's coming in a minute, but just take your time, just snug it up, make sure it's in place and stuff. Do all the little due diligence. Put back on your fuel rail, tighten that up, make sure that's not leaking. Give it a little snug. And then we're putting on the injector caps. So these are the fuel caps. Just make sure they go on, line up first, and then just push them down home, just to make sure they're fully in, because you don't know diesel leaks. So now we just one more time check. We're checking the resistance, and it's perfect. There you go. There you go. Everyone, I'm checking all of them. I'm not just checking the one I put in. I'm checking all of them. So here's the inlet manifold. I'm just putting a bit of grease on them so they don't fall out. Just an old trick, not a massive trick. And then remember that I said earlier that there was a piece missing. I'm just 100% making sure nothing is in the cylinders themselves. So I'm using a hoover with a little hose to get really in the valve. So if anything was dropped in there that I didn't see, I've taken it back out. Good precautionary measure. And here comes the inlet manifold. Bang. Time to tighten up. Once again, we're just snugging up at the moment. We're not doing anything too much. We're just snugging everything up. There you go. There we are, back with the torque wrench. Get them all done. This is what caused the leak last time. I don't think the man torqued them all up to spec before, and this is how the leak happened. As you can see, I'm making sure that it's done all correctly. Go over it, back over it, because sometimes When you tighten one, it can loosen the other one. So just be mindful of that. And then it's just reconstruction of the old stuff that you took off. Really, look, another thing you should get. That ratchet is amazing. And here we are getting closer to the finish. Closer to getting it all on the road. Once you've tightened everything up and you've installed the new injector, you will have to program it to the ECU so it can calibrate it correctly. Otherwise, you're gonna have it not running right and it might, you know, be underpowered. It just won't function correctly. So yeah, make sure you program your injector. Once you've programmed the injector, it's time for a test drive. Guys, so it's been about a week since I first installed that new injector, and I have to say the car has not missed a beat since. I've been driving it up and down just to make sure that the problem was actually gone, and it seems like we hit the nail on the head. It's working perfectly right now at the moment. So yeah, I'm well chuffed, absolutely chuffed, because you know, sometimes it can be a bigger problem, sometimes your fault finder can go on forever, but when you just hit the right note, it's always really pleasing. So now we've got it running and driving. I've been driving it for about a week-ish. There are a couple of other little bits wrong with this car that I've actually found to be, yeah, a little bit wrong with it. When I bought it, I didn't actually get to drive it properly the way I would want to drive it. It's always very different when you're driving the car rather than being driven in the car. You get to feel things that are a little bit more inconsistent to what you're used to. So that's what, you know, it's very different driving the car. Now I've driven the car, there are a few other little bits wrong with it. There's some knocks in the corner here, which I'm guessing it's a suspension sort of scenario issue, or bushing. I'll have to investigate it to find out and know. The back brakes are low, a warning light, a parking brake failure warning light. So there's quite a few little things to do. Now with these particular cars, with these heavier cars, the suspension takes a beating. So, you know, you're gonna be replacing things like bushings and wishbones probably a little bit more than you would on a Golf or a Honda Civic. They're bigger cars, they're heavier, you get more, but you have to do more. With everything else, it's the same kind of rule of anything else in life. So that's what we're up against here. I don't know how well exactly it's been maintained, like all of the bushings and things, whether it's been maintained to my standard. So I'm gonna have to go through that to really get it to the level that I want to get it to get it to that good level where I'm comfortable. And if I decide to keep it or sell it, I'll do so. You know, it's got to be safe for my family, because if it's safe for my family, it's safe for someone else's family. But what I can say is this injector is working good. Power's good. Put my foot down. Yeah, it's gone. that was 39 miles an hour in a 40. But yeah, that was all right. I think it's all right. I think the car's all right. I know the car's all right. But yeah, really happy that we got it sorted and the car's in some sort of running order, you know. So if you want to see more videos on this X6, these are also compatible with the E70s, the X5s as well. They're similar platforms, different body shape. If you want to see more stuff on this car, it's coming. I've got quite a few videos stacked up. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that sort of stuff so you can see what else I'm bringing to the table. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video and I'll see you in the next one.